In Florida, state legislature allows that a husband or a wife can receive alimony payments if they need them. Having a knowledgeable divorce lawyer on hand can determine whether those alimony payments will be permanent or temporary. So what do you need to know? Keep watching to find out. Determining factors. The law uses 6 distinguished factors that will play a big role in alimony. First, the length of marriage plays a role. Based on Florida law, people will usually be ordered to pay for alimony on longer marriages that were over 12 to 14 years long. Another factor that a judge looks at comes from the time needed to gain skills and become self-sufficient. The third factor looks at age, physical and emotional well-being on both sides. The fourth factor looks at the financial resources of both parties. If it looks imbalanced, the judge might order the one to pay alimony so that they can transition more easily. Fifth, the judge looks at the standards of living during the marriage to decide if the other party should pay alimony. The final factor looks at what an individual contributed during the marriage, such as education, childcare, career building assistance, and more. Types of alimony. Florida recognizes 6 different types of alimony: permanent, temporary, lump sum, rehabilitative alimony, bridge the gap alimony, and durational alimony. In most cases, permanent alimony has been reserved for those marriages that lasted over 17 years. Rehabilitative in the state of Florida classifies as when one spouse wants to pursue an education or form of job training to make herself more hireable. With a lump sum, this often gets rewarded as part of the sale of the division of property that they held during the marriage. Durational is more of a temporary form, and this happens for no longer than what the marriage existed for. Finally, there is the form known as bridge the gap, and this helps the divorced individual to make a transition from married life over into single life. Disclosure of finances. When an individual visits the Orlando court with her divorce lawyer, she should keep in mind that the state of Florida will require that she fully discloses a few things. For example, within 45 days of filing a petition in Orlando, the full disclosure of financial information like assets, debts, income tax returns, bank and financial statements, and personal financial statements. This helps the judge to determine the circumstances surrounding the divorce. Juggling alimony. Florida courts have the right to order the non-custodial parent to pay child support. Courts will account for a child's needs, expenses, a parent's ability to pay, and the number of children needed to support. In some cases, Florida courts will also look at the behavior during the marriage. For example, were there cases of adultery within the marriage? When individuals go to pay for both, the thing that every divorce lawyer in Orlando will tell a client to juggle the payments is that they have to keep this in mind when filing for their taxes. While they can deduct payments for alimony, they won't be allowed to deduct them for child support in Orlando. The payments toward alimony count as a form of income, but child support does not count as a form of income. It's best to hire a qualified divorce lawyer who understands the intricacies of Florida divorce laws. Every state differs when it comes to divorce, which is why a person needs a divorce lawyer from the state of Florida when residing in Florida. Contact us today to get help with your legal issues. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe.